Yo, what's up guys, I'm Yannick from the Producer School, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create perfect chord steps for your minimal or tech house tracks, which sounds something like this. You can hear these chord steps in so many house tracks, and it's definitely worth it to know how to create them yourself. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and with that being said, let's create some chord steps. If you want to check out the sounds that I'm using in this video, then check out our pack Devotion, which is the ultimate tech and minimal house producer pack containing presets, samples, project files, vocals and much more. And the response on this pack has been amazing so far, and you can check it out as well using the link in the description. I made this little loop of a bass and some drums, which sounds like this. Very minimal, and we're going to use it to build these chord steps around it. I'm going to start off with the sound design of these chord steps. I have 3 different ones that I want to show you, and then after that I'm going to show you how to build those chords up from scratch and create interesting patterns with them. So let's first start off with the sound design. The first chord step goes like this. And we're gonna recreate this sound from scratch. It's a synth that's included in the Devotion pack. So let's init the preset like so. And then we have just a simple saw wave. To create this kind of plucky synth, I'm going to start off with a sine wave, which is just really clean. I'm going to put up the unison like this. So it's a little detuned. To control the level of the oscillators, I'm going to use envelope 1, and I'm going to drag down the sustain so it's more like a plug. Let's also add some release to make it a little bit smoother. Something like that will do. And then I'm going to enable oscillator B, which will be a saw wave. Let me just mute oscillator A for now. So we only have that saw wave. I'm going to crank up the unison again to around 6 or 8, can also work. Detune it like this. Make this saw a little bit deeper and more plucky, I'm going to enable the filter. And I'm going to enable oscillator B and turn oscillator A off. And now we're going to use envelope 2 to control the cutoff. Let's drag it down and make it like a plug, like this. Drag it on top of the cutoff. And now we have more of a plucky sound. Let's put up the drive a little bit. Because of the unison and detuning of the oscillators, sound got wider. And we can make it a little bit more mono by going to the global section of Serum, and then you have the unison width over here. So let's drag it down like this. So now it's a little bit less stereo than it was. Let's move on to the second chord step. So the first one is that plucky synth we just made. And the next chord step will sound something like this. So it's this kind of wah-wah saw synth that I will show you right now. Let's init the preset like this, and then we have just a saw wave. Let's enable the filter and set it to MG low 18. Put up the drive a little bit and the resonance as well, like 40%. We want the cutoff to go something like this. So you get that wah-wah effect. And let's create an envelope for that. We can just do it with envelope 1. Lower down sustain like this and add some attack. Let's route it to the cutoff. And then it sounds like this. Add some sustain. Some release as well. Let's detune the sound by putting up the unison to like 6. And let's also make this one a little bit less stereo by going to the unison width. So it sounds a little bit more analog. And to make the sound even more interesting, we could add an LFO in the shape of a sine wave. And we can route it to different parameters like the pan. So now it's panning to left and right. You can also add some effects like a phaser. Or a flanger. And a chorus as well. And that's how you create this kind of wah-wah synth. Now I want to show you the last sound that I'm going to be using for the chord steps, which is this electric piano. And this is a plugin from FL Studio itself. I think it's in the instruments folder in packs. So you have keyboard and then you have the electric, which is this one. You can just drag it in there. Or you could use the Rhodes piano, which is a sound that's also been used a lot in a lot of house tracks. I prefer the sound of the electric piano because it has some nice high end. For these electric pianos, you can use the stock plugins from FL Studio itself, or you can use a plugin like Contact or some stuff from Arturia. They have some great pianos as well. It's a sound that you can recreate within Serum, but I still think the samples sound a little bit more realistic. We're on to the next part, and now we'll show you how to build these chords up from scratch. Within the piano roll, and I will show you some different techniques that you can use to create some interesting patterns. First, I'm going to create a full 4-bar loop with this sound. And then I'm going to switch it up by using some of the chords from this pattern and send it to another sound, like this one, or this, to make it a little bit more interesting. I'm not a well-trained musician, so I don't know the exact names of all the chords. And this means that you don't actually need music theory to create these kind of chords. They sound very interesting, but if you break them down, they are definitely not hard to make yourself. What I like to do first is to start thinking of a rhythm that the chords are going to play. I'm going to stay on the root note of this track, which is F, because we're in F minor. And I'm just going to start putting in some notes that I think work as a rhythm. And as you might hear, they sound a little bit offbeat, and that's because the bass line has some swing on it, as you can see over here with the ghost note. So let's apply that same swing to the chords as well. Like this, quantize it, and now it's better. Now we have a basic rhythm that the chords are going to follow, and what you then can do is start experimenting with the length of the notes. So make some notes shorter, like this one. And especially those really short syncopated notes like this one work really well to get this minimal house feeling. Now the rhythm is done, we can start building up these chords. Most of the chords in minimal or tech house tracks are minor chords. So we're gonna start off with a basic minor chord. Since I'm working in F, I'm going to create a F minor chord, which is an F, G sharp and a C, like this. Make this one a little bit shorter. This pattern, it could work, but it's a little bit boring. So I'm going to play some notes between and on top of the chords to create some variations of this F minor chord, make things a little bit more interesting. So let's just see what notes could work. That could work. Let's keep the first chord just the basic F minor. And then put a note on top of this one maybe. As I already told you, I'm not a well-trained musician, so I don't know the exact name of this chord. But I know that it sounds right. And maybe add this D sharp here as well. A simple way of creating interesting patterns is by using inversions of the chord. So for this one, the F minor chord, we can put this F one octave up. Then it's still a minor chord, but it's an inversion of the chord. Same as if we put up this G sharp. There are some inversions of the chord. But let's keep this first one just the basic F minor chord. And maybe this one an inversion. Let's copy this chord here. Something like that. Let's see how that sounds together with the other elements. That sounds great. I think this last chord is a little bit too long in length, so let's shorten it. Let's try an inversion of the chord. Or we could do that at the end. Maybe just the first inversion. You can also try and add some notes in between, like here. Something like this. Let's copy this like so, Control B, and then at the end I want to go up here. So let's try another inversion. At this D sharp. And what we now can do is pick some of these chords and put them into another sound. So maybe we can cut out this part, this last chord, and put it into the electric piano, like this. Make it a little bit longer. Maybe we can pick this one as well. So remove it and then paste it into this pattern. That sounds cool. And maybe pick this one as well at the end of the bar and then put it into the saw sound. Let's shorten the attack a little bit. Or we could do that at the end of this bar. Maybe suits a little bit better. That's better. And let's copy this as well over here. Then we have to remove it from this one as well. Let's play around a little bit more with the electric piano, because I think we can do a little bit more with it. That sounds cool, actually. Happy mistakes. Now that we have this ready, I want to start adding some effects. So let's put all of them into some mixer channels, like so. Control L, and there they are. Let's put these three into a bus so we can apply some effects to all of them. But first, let's start just one by one. Let's add an EQ to this first one to remove some unwanted low frequencies. Let's add a decapitator to give it some saturation. So without, and then with. That sounds great. Let's move on to the next sound, which is the chord step. Remove some low frequencies. And let's boost a little bit of that high end. Sounds great. And then we just have this electric piano. Some EQing will do, I think. All of them together. Let's give this bus a color quickly and rename it. And then I want to apply some effects on all of them. Let's first start off with a glue compressor to glue these chords together a little bit more. Just a little bit. And then most importantly, effects like delay and reverb after it. Let's set to ping pong mode. Something like this. Then a little bit of reverb as well, just like this. And some kickstart for sidechaining, like this. Add a little bit more reverb. And that's how you can create chord steps and chord patterns for minimal and tech house. If you liked this video, make sure to leave a like. And if you have any questions regarding this topic, then feel free to drop a comment and I will try to get back to you and help you on there. For now, I want to thank you guys a lot for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.